So if you followed the Saints' Alvin Kamara contract dance, it's gone a little something like this. When the Saints opened up camp, Mickey Loomis had his return to camp press conference, and he was asked about Alvin Kamara's contract, and this is what the Saints GM had to say about it.
This is always a tough question. You guys always ask these questions about contracts, and I always say, look, I don't like discussing that. That's really, between the team and the player until we're ready to announce something.
So Mickey Loomis says, yeah, not going to talk about it. Alvin Kamara, in his first media availability, they ask him about his contract and where those negotiations might be, and here's what Kamara says. Here's what Kamara says.
As far as contract goes, I'm not concerned with contract talks at all. Me and my agent talked briefly about it, and I told him, I said, don't tell me anything about a contract until it's something where it's happening or, if it's something that I need to know. Other than that, if I was my old agent, then I'll have everything to tell you guys about a contract, but I'm not. And I don't talk upstairs about contracts. I don't talk to coaches about contracts. I'm just here to do my job. I'm healthy. I'm back with my teammates, and we're working towards getting ready for Tampa.
The best answer about a contract that I've heard ever from Alvin Kamara there. Basically saying, I don't handle my contract. Told my agent when there's something to tell about my contract, tell me. Until then, ain't worried about it. So now, with that being sort of the backdrop, we now hear from Jeremy Fowler at ESPN that, in fact, the Saints and the representatives for Alvin Kamara are discussing a contract extension.
Yeah, David, Kamara and the New Orleans Saints have begun contract negotiations in earnest. Now, there is nothing imminent, but the team has made clear with their proposal that they value him. They know he played hurt last year. They believe he is elite. So something could move here in the next few weeks. There's sort of a race at running back. Who's going to get paid first? Dalvin Cook in Minnesota, Joe Mixon in Cincinnati, Kamara. Teams are still a little hesitant to pay running backs because of the short shelf life, but all three of those guys are considered top 10 backs. Could get something done soon, and the Saints want to very much so with Kamara.
So we have gone over this before. So Jeremy Fowler there at ESPN saying Saints now in sincere discussions with Kamara's representatives to get a deal done, and they want to get it done. He also mentioned Joe Mixon and Dalvin Cook. Now remember, Christian McCaffrey's already gotten his deal, and he's making $16 million. Zeke, Le'Veon Bell got paid. David Johnson has that ridiculous contract as well. But Derrick Henry has also gotten his deal, where he's making $12.5. When you look at the salaries for running backs in the NFL, you have McCaffrey, $16 million a year. You got Zeke at $15 million, Le'Veon at $13.1, David Johnson at $13. Derrick Henry came in just under that at $12.5, and then you have the massive drop-off. We've gone over this before, but you got Kenyon Drake at $8.4, and then Melvin Gordon at $8, and Saquon at $7.7. Obviously on his rookie deal. Leonard at 6.7 on his rookie deal. So you get the point, though. It's basically from Derrick Henry at 12.5, big drop-off, Kenyon Drake at 8.4. So how do you fill that gap? Or where does Kamara fall in that gap? Considering that Derrick Henry is an NFL rushing champ, it's hard for me to imagine the New Orleans Saints paying Alvin Kamara more than Tennessee just paid Derrick Henry. I can't see a reality where Kamara, who is not an every down back. And Pro Football Focus has done a good job with this. I know others have dished out this info. Larry Holder did as well at The Athletic, where they've looked at the percentage of snaps that Kamara is on the field relative to those every down backs, whereas McCaffrey's on the field for 95% of the offensive snaps. Kamara's on the field for something like 70 to 75% of the offensive snaps. It's hard or impossible to justify that type of money for a guy that's not filling that type of role. But Kamara is perfect for this offense. The Saints love him. There's no question. They want him to be part of the offense. He's healthy again, and it's shown. Everyone who's been on this week, from Sean Fazan to Mike Triplett to Mike Detillier, all of them who've gotten to go watch this team in person have all said the same thing. Kamara looks like Kamara again. He's poised for a big year. I'm holding firm for Kamara right between Derrick Henry and Kenyon Drake. Derrick Henry's at 12.5. Kenyon Drake's at 8.4, really 8.48, so 8.5. I'm holding firm for Kamara right in that 10.5 range. I think that's what he's worth to this team. He's more valuable to the Saints than Kenyon Drake is to the Cardinals, but he's not as valuable to New Orleans as Derrick Henry is to the Titans, and he's not been a 1,000-yard rusher. When you look at a year ago, Derrick Henry, 1,540 rushing yards and 206 receiving yards. So right there at 1,750 total yards for Derrick Henry in 15 games. Remember, he sat out the one game against New Orleans. And you look at Kamara, albeit injured last year, he was right at about 1,200 yards total, 800 rushing, 500 receiving, 81 receptions. He is super valuable to this team, can help in the return game, but I also can't justify paying someone that's not going to be my every down back like he's going to be my every down back when I know I also have to pay Latavius Murray or whoever else is there in this offense. So, no.
Murray, present.
Not real quick on the draw today, Brian.
I was writing.
Oh. But I do think it's important for New Orleans to pay Alvin Kamara first. They've got to pay him before Joe Mixon and Dalvin Cook get their deals. Because the tendency, because those guys are probably going to be paid closer to what Derrick Henry got, because both have been 1,000-yard rushers, both are every down backs, they're bell cows. When they get their money, the tendency or the inclination is going to be for Kamara to reset the market. He's going to want to then get more than they got, just like Zeke wanted more than Le'Veon had gotten, and then McCaffrey wanted more than Zeke had gotten. Everybody wants to reset the market. Like last year, Mike Thomas got more than what Odell got. I don't think Kamara is going to reset the market, and that's going to be a much more difficult negotiation. If you can get it done now, north of 10, I say do it, and I'd be totally down with that. But really, just want Alvin Kamara to stay healthy this year, man. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.